Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
It's the house!
Huh?
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? Did you hear what I said?
Huh?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
How the hell's it going, everybody? Man, it's just it's so crazy out there with the I mean the documents. I think there's been multiple times where after they've released documents, they remove the documents. And so yesterday they released 2,000, almost 2,800. Or whatever, it was a big number, 2,800, well, I actually have it right here, hold on. 2,790. 2,790. And then during the show last night, they removed the entire download. The Idaho State Police had 7 files on their site, and then they only had 6, and they removed the PDF file that I downloaded. And I think it's probably true that in one of the images you can see the kind of like the upper shoulder of Xana, maybe. I mean, I don't know 100%, but it does kind of look like it's possible that that is her, like Xana's right shoulder, and then you see sort of the just part of her head, maybe a third of her head. And if that's her head and was a gray shirt, then man, she just absolutely, Kohberger went nuts. I mean, absolutely, devastating, horrific knife wounds he was inflicting. But you guys, let's try not to be at 0 too long. You know how we do when we're at 0. It just goes wah, 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 wah. But anyways, it does seem like it's real. I mean, I think I think they removed the whole document, and they're reviewing it again to make sure, and then they'll probably put it back out without that one image. Well, the image might be there. They'll just add a redaction to it. All right. So we have that, and then during the show, I was confused about, I mean, people think I don't know what Bluestar and, various other sort of crime scene, I know what they all do, okay? What I was confused about is why they were taking photographs. If they were using, luminol or the improved amino, or not, Bluestar, which is a better version of luminol. It didn't make sense that you would be showing us photographs of the daylight, because they're used to illuminate in the dark so you can see the patterns and then take pictures of those. That's what was confusing to me. It's like, why are we seeing this if that's what we're looking at? All right. But then they also have Amido Black, A-M-I-D-O Black, which that's what I was thinking they were using for the fingerprints and so forth. But they also have a spray that's Amido Black, and it ends up looking like, it's dark blue-ish with sort of really dark areas where blood is. All right. I mean, in the comments, Gray, I'm surprised you don't know what Bluestar is. It's like, dude, I know exactly what it is. I didn't say I didn't know what Bluestar was. What I was confused about is how they were using it in the... Look at this. Okay, that stuff right there, when the nut jobs look at this image right here, they think that this is blood running down the side of this banister here, and it just is not what that is, okay? This is not what it looked like on the banister. This is, they were spraying to see if they could find blood, and then they probably turned off the lights, and wherever they found it, they found it. This right here is nothing. Okay, this whole thing here, that's nothing there. Hey, thank you, Bella Marie. How did police not find any blood in his car? Oh God, you're a pro burger right out of the gate, right? They try to hide themselves, you know, when they come in here. Hey, it's Notorious Nance. That's the, you know what the first sign of a pro burger is when their first question is about the blood not being in the car, because that means there's something just not quite right here. Yeah, we've already gone over it so many times, it's almost unbelievable. You know, he wore one of those Dickie suits, okay? Before he went into the building, he likely laid down I think he parked on the side of the house, and then maybe on the side of the, on that side street. I don't really know where he parked, but I have a suspicion that he parked on the side, because you actually hear a car move right around the time frame that I would think he would have gone into the house. But he had a Dickie suit on, and maybe that was covered with blood, and then he took off the Dickie suit. After he left the house, he likely had a change of clothes, you know, maybe just sitting in his car, and then he has gloves on, he's got his Dickie suit on, he's got his balaclava on, and, you know, he's got, and the gloves and the shoes. So then he walks up to the car, stands on whatever that, a plastic bag or something, removes the Dickie suit, and kind of takes everything off from the outside, and the last thing off are his gloves, and then he puts that into a plastic bag. And then he likely grabs the cleaner clothing, puts that on, and then the exposure to blood in the car at that point, after taking the balaclava off and all the stuff, is so minimal, it's almost mind-boggling. Then he spent the last month that he was free cleaning that car over and over and over again, to the point where it was absurd. When law enforcement found it, there was nothing in areas where you would expect there to be something in the car, dirt, etc. All right, does that make sense? Or do we have another argument against that? Yeah. Well, he dressed for being able to do what he was going to do. I don't know why that's so confusing and hard for people. You've got a student who is, he learned all about that, wrote a paper on how not to contaminate a crime scene. And you don't think he's going to know and think about what he needs to do to actually minimize the exposure to his vehicle? You think he's going to jump in his car? Because here's the thing, we know this. It was like around late 417 time frame where he's leaving the house. Maybe right around maybe 418. He doesn't pull away until 4:20 and 47 seconds. So, you know, that means he has almost 3 minutes over there. He doesn't just drive away really quick. So why do you think that is? So let's go with the time the dog's barking and then he runs away. Then the car drives by. That's over 2 minutes. So you think he would he'd go to his car and just sit there chilling out all bloody in his car for 2 minutes and just then drive away? No, that means he spent that extra time doing the blood spatter mitigation, then got in his car and drove away at a high rate of speed. Yeah. All right, so hey, you guys, when you're watching the show today, if you have the ability to, if you can help support the channel, and by the way, Allie Cake in here, she, remember she always used to send in super chats and so forth, and she still tries to encourage people to send in super chats, but it currently can't send in super chats, and I don't want people sending in super chats if you can't afford to send super chats in. But if you can, I would appreciate the support for the channel. It's not required or anything like that. It just allows us to keep doing live streams, etc. For example, last night's show, even though I got a lot of views, I had to put it on for adults only, for 18 and over, and so that makes it so there's no ad revenue whatsoever on a show that would have made some ad revenue. Instead, I had to rely on the people watching to help support the channel. So that's what we'll be doing today too. So if you can get some channel memberships for people, etc., that would be awesome. Oh, is that got every... All right, that's crazy. Right, he obviously knew exactly what he was doing, and he pulled that off perfectly. He did. You know, so this is all this stuff here. Does anybody here think that there was a huge pool of blood right there? And the answer is no. If you have a brain that works, you know that all of these little marks here, these blue marks, have nothing to do with a big pool of blood. I think what they were mainly looking for in this house was they were looking for prints of some sort to try to help identify who the killer was. So I think maybe at some point they tried to figure out how the killer moved around using, you know, the Bluestar or luminol to try to figure out, oh, look, there's some misting over here that we couldn't see. It's over here. So they might have done some of that. But this stuff right here, I think, is actually... So Amido Black comes in a powder, you see, and it also is a spray. And I think that's what they're doing here. I think this here might be what that is. I don't think this is... I mean, I don't... See, here's the thing. This is what I don't know. I don't know if this is Bluestar or Amido Black. Okay? Because this right here is Amido Black. That's the same color. That's what it looks like. That's what... And you can spray it on, too. And then Bluestar, you get something that's kind of like this. You know, really... You turn off the lights and you can see everything that reacts to the proteins in blood. All right, just like that. Yeah, you know, crazy looks like that. That doesn't look like this, does it? So I think they're just kind of looking around. Thank you, Charlotte Denny. Thank you. And see, that's sort of an interesting one. I mean, why does it look like that is what I'm trying to get at. You know, like, are they literally saying that... I mean, if you were spraying on Bluestar, just the regular kind of, you know, the little squirter that they have, that doesn't drip a lot. You would get something... You might get something that looks like that. I mean, this is crazy right here. What are they doing, and what are we supposed to notice in this picture right here? That's all this massive blood just spray right there in the corner? That would be insane if that's what that is. I mean, it's interesting because it has the same look as blood. Remember how I was showing you the little tail on it? So, you know, whatever they did here goes down in that direction like that. And, you know, that doesn't even make any sense, right? Because that's way high up in the air above the rail there. What makes perfect sense to you? Yeah, everybody thinks they're an expert. Yeah, this stuff here doesn't make any sense. Let's see, what became of Kaylee Gonzalez's Bluetooth setup? I don't know, who cares? Jeez. I don't know. What happened to her toothbrush? Hello. All right, so, and everybody knows that this right here is not blood, right? And neither is this long thing coming down here, right? Everybody knows that. So that's what I'm asking is, and here you can see that they put that, it looks like Amido black on this entire rail looking for a handprint or fingerprint. See that? Huh? Why do we get trolls already in here? Man. You're already been removed, Grasshopper. Maybe next time, huh? These people are so stupid. They can't even type sentences that make sense. High quality content are people who pretend Kohberger's innocent. That's high quality. Hey, Sherry C., I'm waiting for your reply. What is it that, what do you think we're looking at in this picture right here? That there's this massive, just attack that happened right here on the stairs? I mean, it could be. You know, maybe this is where he attacked Xana. But then, how come the blood is coming from up above and to the left? Doesn't make sense to me. Right, I think it's crazy when people think they should have kept the house up for years, and they'll say there was appeal. It has to sit there for 10 years while they go through those. It's just, people just don't think. They try to come up with reasons to try to make something seem more nefarious, etc. Yeah, this just can't be what this is right here. You know? That's obviously not blood there. And none of this is here. They literally I think what they were doing was they put the Amido black on this looking for blood or a fingerprint or something. It could be that, let's see if you... Yeah, maybe something dark like that means that's blood. I think that is kind of how that works. I mean, we could look this up. I got it right here. Amido black is a protein-sensitive dye primarily used in forensics to reveal and enhance faint blood stains and bloody latent fingerprints. So turning them a deep blue to black color for better visibility. That seems like what we're looking at. And documentation, and also used in labs to stain total protein on blots like Western blots. It works by binding to blood proteins, making invisible traces visible on various surfaces, though it's less effective on prints from sweat alone. Hey, thanks, Chelsea. Let's see, Chelsea. yeah. Ison? Maybe I'm not saying it right. Thank you. The Amido black baffles me too. I was shocked how messy it is. Thanks for talking about curious detail. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what we're looking at here. So people claim in the chats, oh, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Does it really? I mean, I'm sure it makes sense to them. I just want to know what we're looking at because I've seen this used totally differently. I've seen it used when we went to the Fretwell case in Salem. I went to the door and it was covered with the powder. I think it's the Amido black powder that they use. And they were able to, you could see that they were looking for fingerprints, etc. I mean, it looked really similar anyways. I don't know if that's absolutely what they were using, but how it works. In an acidic dye that reacts with the protein components in blood, the reaction creates a distinct blue-black color, dramatically increasing contrast for photographic documentation. Requires a proper protective gear and ventilation, especially methanol-based formulas, as it can stain skin and clothing, and vapors can be hazardous. Surfaces with blood should be dry before application, and some substances like, let's see, I don't even know what the hell that word, can inhibit the staining process. Cyanocrylate was the term that they had in there. All right, so that's the Amido Black, A-M-I-D-O, and then Bluestar is this. Bluestar is primarily used to detect latent blood stains, including cleaned or invisible blood, rather than standard friction ridge. See, I think they're basically just using Amido Black in that house and not Bluestar. They may have used it somewhere to kind of, see what the full range of blood was in a bedroom or something. It's specifically used to detect and reveal blood prints, footprints, handprints, and fingerprints made in blood. So it also does that. See, and then you go, okay, well then maybe that's what they wanted to use in Xana's room, right? Key details regarding Bluestar and prints. Blood print detection. It is used to make invisible or faint blood prints visible on surfaces like floors, weapons, or furniture by emitting a blue glow. See, but this is for use in the nighttime. I mean, not night. I mean, it's for use where you turn off the lights. Like it's dark. You can see it glow. You've seen it in movies. Oh, it lit up like a Christmas tree. Remember that? It also is used for a blood print enhancement. It can be used to visualize and photograph latent blood prints, such as shoe prints. Now, maybe that's what was used outside the door, but that sort of overlaps with Amido Black. They kind of seem like they do that too. But up here it said, let's see. Yeah, right here. Blood stains and bloody latent fingerprint and footprint. See, that's also Amido Black. So it almost feels to me like that's what they're using. I guess Sherry C didn't want to tell us how it made sense. Oh well. Anyways, not for routine prints. It is not designed, this is, again, Bluestar. It's not designed to detect traditional latent fingerprints, oil, or sweat. So not like if somebody touched a doorknob, but rather to find blood in the shape of a print. Like, yeah, so maybe that's what, remember they were saying maybe that's what that shoe print was. I don't think that shoe print outside of Dylan was Kohberger at all. I just think it was just some random, it doesn't even make sense to me. It's right next to the door. I mean, they would have had to like butt heads almost. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. And then applied at the, let's see, procedure. It is a highly sensitive and often applied at the end of a crime scene investigation. Right. Sometimes after other print collecting methods have been used. See, I was wondering that too. I was wondering while I was looking at these, did they use like Amido Black, then later come through with luminol or Bluestar, which is a upgrade on that. The more advanced, it's developed over the years. But they both were used where you turn off the light and it reacts. And then also, luminol or Bluestar, actually in this case, do not destroy DNA. So you can still, even after you spray it, you can collect the DNA. Unlike some older luminol products. See, that was the upgrade. Luminol used to destroy the DNA, but Bluestar does not destroy the DNA, allowing for further analysis. So that's pretty cool. The Amido Black baffles me too. I was shocked how messy it is. Thanks for talking about the curious details rather than focusing on gore and wild theories. Yeah. And that's how my channel suffers, right? Because I don't do that stuff. And right now it'd probably look like a bingo machine if I was in here covering the case sensationally, like the other nutjob pro-burger wackos who are trying to go dig through and find everything. Like they're literally giving a damn about taco sauce. You know, like, oh, somebody used taco sauce. It looked like Xana had taco sauce on there, and didn't Bethany have some taco sauce? Oh boy. You know, because other people can't use taco sauce. It might be in the house. It has to be a conspiracy of some sort. Right. I guess they haven't done that. And thanks, Michelle H. 30 months of absolute hell, huh? But anyways, you guys, I need your guys' support on here. We're starting off with one of those massive lulls, so if you have the ability to help support the channel, that would be great. Thank you. We're probably going to load of trolls tonight. No, you know what? The purple one, you're an idiot. Get the hell out of here. All right? That's why it suffers. Okay? If I was covering conspiracy nutter stuff like you like to watch, you might have said something differently. Yeah, there it was. They actually made a video about how it looked like Xana had taco sauce on her plate with the fries. So it's got to be a conspiracy with Bethany Funk somehow. Great observation. We all saw it. Nobody cared. Because it doesn't mean anything. Kohberger's the killer. Who gives a shit why there's taco sauce on her plate? Let me see, everybody. The real killer came in and put some taco sauce on her plate to make it look like she had tacos instead of the curly fries that are still sitting on the plate. Those idiots forgot to remove the curly fries. Let's see. So here's the, comparing the two. It says, Amido Black and Bluestar Spray are both forensic tools used to visualize bloodstains, but they differ fundamentally in their mechanism, purpose, and application. Amido Black is a protein stain used to enhance already visible or faint bloodstains like footwear impressions by staining them blue or black. Bluestar is a luminol-based reagent that uses, chemiluminescence to detect trace washed or invisible blood. So this is like when people tried to cover something up, like in a sink, they rinse everything down. It looks clean to them, but it really wasn't. Causing it to glow bright blue in darkness. Here's a detailed breakdown of the differences. The fundamental mechanism. Amido Black binds specifically to proteins found in blood, turning them a deep blue black color. It requires some visible blood to be present to work effectively. That's Amido Black. Now, Bluestar reacts with the iron in hemoglobin, causing a chemical reaction that produces light, luminescence. It is designed to detect blood that has been cleaned or is invisible to the naked eye. So I'm not even sure this was used. Bluestar here. It could have been, like in a room after the fact, spray a little bit on the wall. It's not a blue spray or anything. That's what's sort of interesting about it. I think we're basically looking at Amido Black in this house. Because Bluestar sprays clear, and then it only affects where you can see it when it hits blood. Then you can turn on the light and boom, it lights up like a Christmas tree. And then when you turn off the lights, I think you can, I don't know if you can even see anything. I'm not sure. I didn't look at that part. But. And primary use case, Amido Black, ideal for enhancing faint or latent bloody impressions. So that was probably what was used outside the door of Dylan on non-porous surfaces. It is often used to bring out details in a stain that is already seen. And that might be what they used in Xana's room on the floor with all the blood that was on the floor. Bluestar, used for searching large areas for invisible or cleaned up blood. It is often the first step to find evidence, whereas Amido Black is used to document it. I wouldn't say it's the first step, because a minute ago you just said it's usually the last thing you do. So I don't know. Bluestar is used for searching large areas for invisible or cleaned up blood. It is often the first step to find evidence, where Amido Black is used to document it. Appearance of results. Amido Black creates a dark black permanent stain. Results are photographed under normal, see, there you go, normal or oblique lighting. That's exactly what we're looking at. Bluestar produces an intense light blue glow. It requires semi-darkness or total darkness to be seen. Sensitivity and surface type. Amido Black, very sensitive to blood proteins, but can cause background staining on porous surfaces. It works best on non-porous surfaces. I would think a hardwood floor would make it sort of difficult. That's kind of a porous surface. Bluestar, extremely sensitive, detecting blood diluted up to 1/100,000. So like a drop of blood put in, and then all of a sudden you mix it in with 100,000 drops of blood, and it can still detect it. I mean, of water is what I meant. Like you could take one drop of blood, put it into 100,000 drops of water, stir it up, and it'd still be able to be able to detect blood in that water. Thanks, Trite. By the way, did you guys see the loser Gavin Newsom showing up to Davos? I mean, like a little, almost like a stalker. Pretty wild. Jesus. He goes over there and he's like, "Hey, everybody, look at me." I mean, God, what a weirdo. Jesus. Bluestar, extremely sensitive, detecting blood diluted up to 1/100,000. It works on virtually all surfaces, including fabric, metal, and plastic. I mean, that was just really bizarre, you guys, when I was watching that today. All right, so I think that's pretty good descriptions there. Let's see. What was this one here? It's typically, let me ask another question here. Can you see the Bluestar agent on the wall, even when the room is? Let's see, on the wall, if there is no blood detected and the room is lit. Yes, you can see the Bluestar forensic agent on the wall even in a lit room, though its visibility is significantly better in darkness. Okay, so it's not talking about... They're sort of assuming that there's blood. If there's no blood detected, the chemical generally should not produce the intense blue glow, oh, I see, characteristic of blood, although it can produce false positive reactions. Here's, so it says visibility in a lit room. Unlike traditional luminol, Bluestar produces a very bright and lasting luminescence that does not require total obscurity to be visible. Limitations: while it can be seen in partial light, it's easier to detect and photograph in the darkness. And if there's no blood present, it says no reaction. If no iron from hemoglobin or other catalytic substances are present, the spray remains invisible. Ah, there you go. Or simply appears as wet. Boom. That's what I was looking for. I think what I'm pretty confident in saying right now that most of the stuff that we see around in here is actually the Amido Black and not Bluestar. Okay? So look at, when there's no blood present, there's no reaction. If no iron from hemoglobin or other catalytic substances are present, the spray remains invisible, or simply it just appears as a wet, clear liquid on the wall. That's exactly what I was looking for. If the wall contains certain materials, the agent may react even without food, or without blood, I mean. These false reactions can be caused by chlorine bleach, paint and varnishes, metals like copper and iron and wall material, distinguished false positive. Hey, thanks so much, Curious Jojo. I think we just nailed this thing right here. This might all be repeat for what's been gone over. What's been repeat? Oh, I mentioned last night that I thought Blue Star would illuminate white if blood. Well, yeah, if it's in the darkness. I don't think that's what they use though. Yeah, well, no, but it doesn't. I don't know. I'd like to ask Joseph Scott Morgan, because it's not all these photographs we're looking at. I just read it. Were in daylight, you know, the room light. Okay, and you can see stuff, but if you use Blue Star and there's no blood, you don't see a damn thing other than a wet wall, like it's water. Okay, and so that I don't think that's what I think. This material here is Amido black. This stuff right here. Turning them deep blue, black. I mean, look at how similar that looks to that. The lab stain total protein blots. It works for binding the blood. Used for forensics to reveal and enhance faint blood stains and blood latent fingerprints. So they were looking on this railing here. So here's what we can just, using common sense, logic, and reason. This right here is a rail. What do you think they're going to be looking for mainly on the rail? Are handprints. So they covered the entire rail with Amido black, looking for a print, a latent print that was put there in blood, and they didn't find one. Doesn't that make sense? And that's what we're looking at. All this stuff right here is Amido black, and it just sort of dripped down the sides here and has nothing to do with anything. This here is confusing to me. I don't know what the hell this is. Anybody have any answer? Because it doesn't make sense. I mean, if this is actually blood detected by Amido black, but it wouldn't be because it would have been put all over the walls. It's just a really confusing, it's almost like it's spray. Like this is spray from the damn, jeez, that's crazy. He literally studied how to not cross-contaminate. Yeah, this one's really interesting to me, this picture here. Because if it was Amido black, they would have smeared it all over the wall, and you'd make out where it was darker, indicating blood, but you don't see that. So this almost seems like it's luminol that was used, but it's not dark, and they sprayed it and it's interacting where there was some kind of a blood-like material, but it just doesn't make sense to me. See how there's like way up here coming in like that? Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. It's spray. It's from the spray bottle, right? But why are they filming it then? It's like that's what's bugging me. If that's what it is, it's nonsensical to film it. So like, look at that. This obviously is not, this is Amido black right here. And they were, I don't know, it's almost like they accidentally spilled over the can. And maybe while they were spraying, some of it got on the walls over here. So it's just, I'd like to have, I wish we had like an expert that's used this before that could look at this and go, yeah, that's really not, I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Because this right here would be a massacre. If this was literally blood from the case, there would be a person dead right here. Okay? This doesn't make any sense. That's what I was saying last night. And people didn't seem to get it. They go, Gray, you don't even know what luminol is, man. I know exactly what it is. No, there's no way that there's this much blood sitting right here. I mean, if that's what this is, then this is crazy. That means Xana was mortally wounded right here and then made it down the stairs to her room. And wouldn't there be just a hell of a lot more blood coming down the stairs into the living room, all the way down the hall if you had a wound like this? What are you talking about, Rick? Why is Gray using that voice about luminol? Nobody knows what you're talking about, man. Speak English. They do say in there that it kind of turns black when there's blood. Or darker, so you can see the contrast of it. But look right there. There's just this massive thing right there. Looks like they almost painted, really sprayed it hard on there. Maybe there was something here that they just kind of sprayed it down. And see, the Kohbergers are all gonna. That's what I was trying to get at last night. They're gonna say that all of this streaking down here is blood. And I don't think it is at all. And you can see they actually literally sprayed it on here. And I think this is just what sort of dripped off. They sprayed it at an angle to get the sides, Like, can you imagine, like, you're kind of spraying at a 45-degree angle to get the side of the railing? Because, people put their hands on it like that. To get a thumb might be here. So you're doing that, and then it was kind of wet, and some of it dripped down. That's what I think we're seeing here. Okay? Now, I would like this part kind of explained here. I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree that this is Bluestar here. Yeah, I don't agree. Because Bluestar is actually invisible in the light, other than when it's hitting blood. Now, if that's the case here, then, and this really is Bluestar, and we're seeing it during the day, and these are spots where it interacted, I mean, that would be just absolutely a massacre in here. And I'm not sure I agree with that. I know he's a... Huh? You're crazy, Rick. Hey, the rest of us, we can't talk about it because our brains... how would it know what was used in the investigation? Why are you confused, Hillbilly? You seem like you're crazy. You seem absolutely, almost mind-bogglingly confused. Yeah, so right here is, I think right there, I mean, so you're saying that he's telling people that this up here is Bluestar, right on this rail here. Is that really what you're saying? God, that just doesn't make any sense. We just went over it. I just read it to you a minute ago. Listen to this. Watch. It said, if there's no iron or other catalyst substances are present, the spray remains invisible or simply appears as wet, clear liquid. This looks like there's kind of a greenish hue to it, or blue, I mean. Here, look. See right there? It's actually on the top of it. It used to be all this color here. Why are we seeing that? Do you think there's blood covering the entire thing? I think this is not Bluestar here. Okay? God, it doesn't seem that way. But your comments make you appear confused, Hillbilly. I'm asking questions because if you're claiming that this is Bluestar It doesn't make sense. No, why would I want to email her? I actually know who he is too. I've communicated with him before. I've met him. I know who Joseph Scott Morgan is. I just don't. This right here doesn't seem like Bluestar. This is what you looks like with Bluestar, right? You spray it, and when you turn off the lights, it looks like that. You turn the lights on, you might still see some of these little marks, but you can barely see them. If there's no blood at all, it's completely like in the daylight, it just looks like a wet wall. Does that look like what this is? This looks like a stain on top of the railing here. I don't know, maybe they didn't know how to use it. So are we going to say that all of these right here are blood stains, and yet they only marked that one little, like all of this, every bit of this stuff is more blood, just there's some, all the way up, going up the walls and all over the place. And then that is too, it's dripping down, you know, like this, this is ridiculous. This obviously here is from either the luminol, if you want it, let's just pretend it's either one of them. It's the liquid of it dripping down the side of the wall. That's it. But look over there. I mean, that's on the wall of the landing. That's crazy right there. And if that literally is a, like this area right here, let's go right there, this whole thing in there is part of a blood spatter event, then man, something really bad happened right in this location. In that area, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they got into that kind of detail. And see, look, right there. See how you can see this? You think anybody think that's a big streak of blood going down the side of the... No, it's not. This is the material, and Bluestar doesn't do this right here. You hear that? It's just a clear liquid other than the reaction with blood. We just looked it up. So this right here, to me, is more likely to be Amido black. This stuff. And look what it looks like. That's what the, like, almost looks identical. And it's used for forensics to reveal and enhance faint blood stains and blood latent fingerprints or footprints. And I think that's what they were looking for right here on the, like, wouldn't you be looking for fingerprints on this right here? That's exactly what you'd be trying to find, are footprints. Hey guys, any chance you guys can help support the channel tonight? That would be great. Thank you. We're just really struggling again. We've got one of those massive lulls. We're pretty much at 1/5 of just meeting the basic nightly goal. Yeah, maybe. Notorious Nance. I mean, whatever it is, I don't... It just doesn't make sense to me. That's why I was saying that yesterday. I know how this stuff works. I've read about it before. The photographs don't match what are... And they don't seem to be consistent. It just doesn't make sense. Sorry. Yeah, so these are all, look at right there. See this whole side there, they sprayed in there. And look, this isn't luminol down here. That's exactly what Amido Black looks like. They're looking for footprints made from blood walking in this area right here. That's what they're looking for. Hey, thank you, Sassy Squatch. Boy, I got 5 gifted memberships tonight, so that'd be cool if you guys could do that as well. See that right there? There's no latent footprints. That's what they're looking for in here. And so you'll see that in a minute. And right in here, are people saying that this is Bluestar right here? Now let's ask the question. Let's just ask another one. Does Bluestar leave blue streaks of liquid running down cabinets? I mean, it'll probably have an answer for this. Okay, well, there it goes. Yes, Bluestar ranges. Ranges? I don't know what that means. No, that's, never mind. They're talking about a different object. Does Bluestar forensic spray streak and drip? Let's see. Spray leave blue streaks with no blood. I guess, yeah. I don't know. I just want to see what can leave blue streaks, or more accurately, a blue glowing or white luminescence effect, particularly if applied in excessive amounts, as stated in the user manuals. Okay. So let's see. Even if blood is not detected. Yes, Bluestar forensic spray can produce blue or white hazy streak-like reactions, even when blood is not present, a phenomenon known as a... That's not what I was looking for. That last answer was better. I know, it has to be in the dark. That's what I'm saying, but in the light... We just went over a document I just read a minute ago, and when Bluestar is used... And let's say you spray it on a wall, you just kind of go, I mean, it's really like a misting. That's what I'm saying. This, it's a really kind of a light misting. You go, kind of a spray it on the wall, and then you turn off the lights. And as it's, you can even watch the blood start showing in slowly as the chemicals react on the wall. You can see it. But when you turn the light back on again, the areas where there's no blood show absolutely nothing. It's completely clear and there's nothing there. Does that make sense? Man, this is brutal. I mean, somebody... Jeez. Let me see. Is the Bluestar liquid blue itself? I gotta put the words together. The Bluestar forensic liquid. Okay, liquid. Let's see. Yes, Bluestar forensic liquid itself isn't inherently. No, I said, is it? It says, isn't inherently blue. But when activated and sprayed on blood, it creates a distinct, often intense light blue let's see, it's hard to say, chemiluminescence, which is its key feature, making it highly sensitive, presumptive test for blood traces, even cleaned ones, by reacting with the iron in hemoglobin. Blood traces, even cleaned ones. What does that mean? Oh, when it's been cleaned, right. So this is actually no. Is the Bluestar forensic liquid blue itself, and it says, yes, Bluestar forensic liquid itself isn't inherently blue. Well, then no, okay? And see, that's the thing. Over here, look at all this blue liquid over there. That's not blood on the counter over here. There was no blood, and they found no blood from the victims, apparently, in the kitchen. So this is just I think this is more likely to be Amido black spray up here. What do you guys think? I don't want to, keep just belaboring it, but I think the information that we have points to this being more likely Amido black than it is Bluestar. We've been looking at it. See, this is not... Let me just tell you this. If this was Bluestar and you turned off the lights and people believe that this is actually blood detection right here, then you would have a massacre that happened right here in the kitchen. Right? Hey, thanks, Sherry C. What do you think about this, Sherry C? What do you think it is? I know. Why didn't they just tell us what they were using? Okay, let's see what ChatGPT says. That's probably better than Google's. Let's see. Why don't you guys, let's ask a question. So you come up with questions and let me know what they are. Let's see. When using luminol, is the liquid in the spray bottle blue? Maybe they're using luminol and not... No, the liquid in
Short
luminol...
answer, no. The liquid in a luminol spray bottle is not blue. Here's how it actually works. What luminol looks like. Luminol solution is clear to pale yellow in the spray bottle.
Oh, jeez.
It does not glow or look blue under normal lighting conditions.
Okay, so that's already got that one. People sometimes think the bottle contains a glowing blue liquid because crime shows exaggerate the effect. Photos are taken after spraying in total darkness. Right. Important forensic detail. The blue glow is temporary. Okay, that's with luminol. So let's go back to... I'm going to change this to Bluestar just because that's probably more likely. It's the newer version. It doesn't destroy the DNA. When using Bluestar, see, I don't always agree with the talking heads that are on shows.
Short answer, yes. Bluestar solution is blue in the spray bottle. Here's the clear breakdown.
Oh, so this one is
what
blue.
Bluestar looks like. Bluestar forensic solution is visibly blue before spraying. The blue color is intentional and part of the formulation.
So there you go.
How it differs from luminol. Luminol, clear pale liquid, blue glow only after reaction in darkness. Bluestar, blue liquid in the bottle, produces a stronger blue chemiluminescent glow. Why Bluestar is blue. The dye helps. Confirm the surface has been sprayed evenly.
Okay, this one's the other
Improve
side.
visibility during application. The blue color of the liquid is not the glow. The glow still comes from chemiluminescence when it reacts with blood. Forensic advantages of Bluestar. Brighter and longer-lasting glow than luminol. Can often be used in low light instead of total darkness. Less degradation of DNA than traditional luminol, important in real investigations. Bottom line. Bottle, blue liquid.
Okay.
Reaction, brighter.
So that one supports it being Bluestar. Let's see. If you spray too much Bluestar, on a wall does it streak down with a blue streak?
Yes. If you spray too much Bluestar on a vertical surface, it will run and leave visible blue streaks.
There you go.
Here's exactly what happens and why.
Okay,
What
now I feel
happens
good.
on a wall?
All right.
Bluestar is a blue-tinted liquid, not just a vapor. On a vertical surface, excess liquid will gravity run downward, leave blue streaks or drips. Those streaks are the liquid itself, not the glow. Important forensic distinction. Blue streaks equal to over-application. Blue glow equal to chemiluminescent reaction.
So that's kind of what the deal is. They applied it. So whoever did it didn't know what, they're just way overdoing it. That's why it looks the way it does. It's not, they didn't do it right. You're just supposed to kind of just spray it on there, mist it onto the wall. Yeah, they sprayed too much. It's crazy.
Reaction. You can have streaks without any glow if there's no reactive material, blood.
Okay.
Why the...
All right, so... Well, let's see. Let's keep going.
Why this matters in real scenes. Streaking can smear or redistribute trace evidence, create misleading patterns, looks like blood movement when it's not, be cited later as poor application technique.
Who cares what Hillbilly was saying? You always come in here. There's always these people trying to defend the other trolls. It's the craziest shit you've ever seen,
Technique. Investigators are trained to use light misting,
especially you. You always
spray
do
from
that.
12 to 18 inches. Avoid soaking surfaces.
Right.
Can streaks glow?
See that? I
Yes.
just said that. I watched it. Use light misting. Spray from 12 to 8. They basically threw a bucket on there.
Yes, if blood is present where the liquid runs. This can create vertical glowing trails, false impressions of blood flow direction.
Right.
This is why documentation timing matters.
Yeah, see, that's just bad, right? Because the truth is on some of these other areas, if you go way back here, like here, let's just pretend that there was other blood on here. This thing would have dripped down and went over some active blood that's there and then glowed in the dark and then ran further. But what you really wanted to do was to lightly mist it on there to get the full impression of it. Now you got these wild... I mean, I think you could still spray it on there and it would catch it, but, you kind of... It's just not really that great. Right? Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. This stuff here is from overspraying. Look at this counter here. I mean, what did you do? Get a bucket of it and just dump it out and smear it around with a... Okay. Well, I wasn't the one arguing with you, Hillbilly. We just don't need people like RRHIIII, who's always in here just trying to stir up the pot up. Never just joins in with a regular conversation. Okay, so I think that... all right, I see it now. I see the definite possibility that this is Bluestar, because it does have a blue liquid. Even though one said it just looks wet on the wall. See this right, the way this looks? I would think the wall would look like that if you sprayed it and there was no blood. But there's no blood right there, so why does it look like that? And look down here. You would look like somebody's head got smashed in with a sledgehammer in the corner there, and that's just not the case, right? That didn't happen right there. You see that, though? And see, that's where it gets confusing in here. That look, a misting, like it's just a huge, massive blow right there on the ground. Sucks. Let's go back up. I'm more intrigued about this up here. Like that is just way over application yet again. See this wood right here, you guys? That's the color of that. They just absolutely sprayed the living hell out of that handrail there, looking for something. I mean, look at that. And then people will think that that right there is... okay, that's what I needed to get back to. I was going to get back to... so in normal room light, can blue star leave dark streaks, making it look like blood was present? Yes, in normal room light.
Yes, in normal room lighting, blue star can leave dark blue streaks that can visually resemble bloodstains, especially if it's over-applied. Here's the precise,
Hey, we nailed
real-world
it in
explanation.
here. Can I get a
What you see
boom?
in normal light. Blue star solution is visibly blue. When sprayed too heavily on a wall, the liquid runs downward. It can dry into dark blue or bluish-black streaks.
Yeah, maybe that's what Hillbilly
On
was
certain
talking about.
surfaces, painted drywall, textured paint,
They say
matte
gravity.
finishes, those streaks can look brownish or dark, which can be mistaken for diluted or aged blood. Why this can be misleading? The streaks are reagent residue, not blood. Ambient lighting, there is no glow,
This is perfect right
just
here.
dark discoloration. Without
We got to
context,
it.
photos
Can I get a
taken later can
boom?
be misinterpreted
That's
as
super
blood flow
chat worthy,
patterns.
isn't it?
Suggest prior blood presence where there was none. Factors that make it worse. Overspraying,
Yeah, in
soaking,
the darkness, Jessica.
vertical surfaces, porous or
'cause
textured
it
walls,
glows.
delay between spraying and documentation, partial cleanup attempts, smearing the dye, how investigators differentiate it from blood.
Right, that's
Timing,
what I was saying.
true blood is visible.
See, if people were paying attention yesterday on my show, I didn't have a confusion on Blue Star or how it works, like the technicalities of it. My thing is what it looks like in these pictures is that the Kohberger nut jobs are going to turn it into like it's a massacre going on there, okay? And that's why it was confusing. And the reason it was confusing is because it was poorly applicated. It was like it's insane what we're seeing here, okay? It's almost like they poured a bucket on the ground at some point.
Visible before reagent use. Pattern, reagent streaks are uniform and gravity run. Sampling, swabs test negative for blood, DNA. Scene notes, trained teams document reagent application explicitly. Key takeaway, yes, Blue Star can leave dark streaks in normal light. Those streaks do not prove blood was present. Poor application can create misleading visual artifacts. This is a known limitation of Blue Star forensic, which is why controlled misting and immediate documentation are emphasized. If you want, I can. Walk through how this issue is handled in court testimony, explain how long the discoloration lasts. Compare how luminol versus Blue Star residue behaves on walls. Break down.
I would think, I think it would be luminol, if you're not concerned about preserving DNA, would be a better application, I would think. Because all you're going to see is in the darkness where the blood is. There's no, on the walls, it just looks like wet liquid. That's it. It doesn't look like this crazy crap that we're seeing here. I mean, look at that. This is what the Kohbergers will say. Oh my God, it's a massacre. This isn't blood here. This is just somebody absolutely spraying the living hell out of that. And they must have, I'm not sure how they got in the inside of the door. What a weird place to put that. I mean, I guess you could be reaching in. Here, I'm going back up to the spot again, up in here. See? That's exactly what we just read about right there. There you go. See? I just wanted to figure out what the hell we were looking at here. And at the beginning, it seemed like it was going to be Amido Black because it actually looks similar in some of the instances. And it also comes in a spray. Because originally it said that and on Google it said Blue Star sprays is clear, and you don't see anything if there's no blood present. And so then you would think, oh my God, this is all blood then. Hey, you guys, we need to get some challenges going or something in here tonight. Because I don't want to have we go backwards again after we had a good night yesterday, making up for 2 shitty nights earlier in the month. And so if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that'd be great. I mean, if we had a really good night tonight, I was going to try to donate $500. I'll tell you what, if we get to 400, then I'll donate 500, which is... 400 is 280 from YouTube, and I'll donate 500, which is 750 from that you'd have to bring in to make 500. All right, how does that sound? I don't know, because of people like you, Ricky. Two shitty nights isn't that bad out of 21, you know. One of them was I didn't do a show, Rick. Hey, Rick, guess what we're going to do? I'm going to remove you, all right? Have a good one. Now, you've already been asked not to keep trolling 15 times. Hey, Rick, you got about 2 more seconds, and we're going to get rid of you, okay? Yeah, I just took a night off because of this. This is another one of these nights. I mean, we need to have another good night tonight, you guys. So can you please help support the channel? If you like what this channel does, there is no ad revenue. There is nothing other than you guys supporting. And if you like how I work through cases and try to figure things out, then I would appreciate your support. Maybe somebody doing a challenge of some sort would be pretty cool. And find out if they talked about it or not. Talked about what? Does this stuff ruin fingerprints? No, it looks for fingerprints. Let's see. What do they use? What do forensic... Yeah, so they have a powder, I guess. So that's different. It looked similar to kind of the coloring of a Amido black, you know, but that's also like a... Oh, come on, you guys. Let's not have another one of these nights, please. Okay, so Amido black is not used for finding just fingerprints that are not in blood. They're looking for latent prints. Oh, look at that, Lisa Valenzuela. She'll do 5 channel memberships, or if you guys do 5 channel memberships, she'll do 5 coffees. And we don't have... And if you're wondering where Marty's Bar and Grill is, he's trying to work out something like Google or whatever there. I think they were trying to get him to verify himself or something, and I had to do that yesterday on one of my accounts, my what do you call it, the AdSense. So if you guys do gift 5 coffees, then Elisa Valenzuela will donate. I mean, if you do 5 memberships, she'll donate 5 coffees. Oh, look at it, you're back. I guess they did it quick. You're going to do the same thing? All right. I didn't know you got back so quick. See, this is what it's supposed to look like when you're using Bluestar. Kind of you just mist it onto the wall, and then it reacts with any blood, and then wherever the blood is, it'll show up like that. That's what it's supposed to look like. Not like this, where it's just dripping down the side. And see, then it's going to really cause problems here. I don't know what this is right here. Like they just sprayed it over there and it was just haphazardly sprayed. Thank you, Curious Jojo. Very cool, very kind. Thank you. Let's see. Let me go back over to here. If you apply Bluestar, gently misting in the light, will you still be able to see where? No, but see, that's already, it doesn't work here. See where it activated. All right, you guys, anybody out there going to help support
Short
the channel
answer,
tonight?
usually no. If Bluestar is applied correctly, a light mist, you generally will not be able to see where it activated with blood in normal room light.
There you go.
Here's the precise breakdown.
There you go.
What?
All right, see, that just told us the answer right there. So that means that all this stuff right here is just, let's see. You wouldn't be able to see where it activated. So this is just Bluestar material that has ended up being sprayed on the wall here. That's it. This has nothing to do with blood or anything like that. I mean, it's interesting because look at way up there, coming from up above, just as a blood spatter pattern would look like. But I think what it was is they were just spraying from. Let's look back above again. See, look at right here. You could see them when they're spraying right here on this corner here. That some of it flew over the wall and hit right over there. You see that? That's what I'm guessing happened there. All right, you guys, we need gifted memberships to reach these challenges. Anybody into doing that? That'd be great. Yeah, it's just overspraying, so let's see. Joseph Scott Morgan, I think he's correct when he says it's Bluestar. He must have seen the over application of it a million times. Did he mention that on there? Because this is absolutely what this is right here. And if you turn off the light, so what they're really saying here is, let's say you turned off the light and there was blood on this. There, you might see a dot here, there, and here, but the rest of it wouldn't have lit up. It just looks like that it's in the light because the liquid itself is blue. There you go. Yeah, I don't see what I'm saying. Like, we're not even getting people to react again to the challenges we're having in here. It's the only way to get the channel supported. Over here? No way. You're talking about this right here? Hey, look at that. CRR. There's one. There's 5 right there. Okay, there we go. Thank you. You're not saying in this picture here he said that, right? I think these pictures are okay because it's just Bluestar, it's not. What did he say about these? Because this right here is literally just Bluestar liquid that hit the walls in these spots here. Do you get it? This is not blood. And all of this, same thing. This is the result of them spraying the banister or the handrail, and it came over here. That's what I would guess. In fact, I would bet money on that. That when you're looking at this picture right here, just look. When they're spraying all along here, because they had to go right along the side right here, right? See that? And so the misting of it, because they're spraying such a heavy amount, it flew over the edge and hit the wall there. And then as they got down lower here, it hit the corner over there. And it's hard to say when they sprayed it. You wouldn't think they'd need to keep spraying it so heavily. And see, that's where that came from. Isn't that weird how they're filming that as if it's valuable? Like, look, ooh. It's crazy. That's you. You did that. I mean, I think this photographer didn't know what they were filming. See, look up there. It's all over that wall because they were spraying it. And then it's dripping down here. Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's totally messy. It's not, it's just way overkill. It's crazy. And they probably sprayed out there, looked at it, or inside here, and looked at it at night with the dark light off, see if they could see anything at all. I don't know what this light stuff there is. It's not dark, so it's not a reaction. With it's not like it's light, it's dark out, and you're seeing the light of the luminol or the blue star. Anybody think that looks like a good job of spraying there? I don't mean to be critical, but that's just nuts right there. And you know, the people that think that Kohberger's innocent will pretend that this is where the murder really happened. Look at that. Because they don't have the intellectual curiosity to go do what we just did and look up and get the actual answer. So it turns out that Bluestar is, as opposed to luminol is either yellow, clear liquid, and when they spray it on a wall, you can't, during normal light, you can only just detect that the wall's wet. And when you turn off the lights, it illuminates the same way that Bluestar does, except luminol can destroy DNA, and Bluestar doesn't destroy DNA. It also is a blue liquid with Bluestar, so when you put the misting on a wall, the wall will kind of turn a little bit of a blue color, but then when you turn the lights off, then all of a sudden, wherever there was blood, it lights up like a Christmas tree, but you can't see that when the lights are on. I think I just explained that really well. Yeah, I've seen similar, like the Jodi Arias case had a bunch of crazy stuff like, not this type, this level. This is just a mess the way they did this. Like this right here is just extra Bluestar rolling off the counter. That's all it is. Has nothing to do with anything. Just like that. They oversprayed it. Look at that, man. It almost looks like they had a one of those paint, whatever you call it. Hey, we're still short. We need some more. I think we need 5 more channel memberships, right? The one that says someone, is that you, Marty? And then we also had Lisa Valenzuela. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry C. All right, let's just keep going down here. And people, and I guarantee you, people go, look, there's arterial blood spray, you know, that because that's what that looks like. Because they're just like, whoo, with the spray can. See that? I'm not even sure why they're filming this. Maybe what they're doing is saying, after filming this whole... Okay, here's what I think. Let's go back up. I'm going to go all the way back where they're upstairs, the stairs again. Then I'll zip back over there. You know what I think? I think after spraying the entire wall... Well, not this one doesn't make sense, but they have a J here. I don't know what that stands for. But I bet you on that other instance, when we're looking down that rail, that after that whole spraying, they identified one little mark where there was blood. On this one. See right there? That little mark. So after spraying this whole thing, that's where they got a little mark. And that might be the one that is in the documents, like they don't know, you know. And that could just be from a party. Somebody has a little piece of blood on the wall there. I mean, look at this. See? Right in there? It's like a pool of luminol right here. Or blue star. Is anybody in here a crime scene tech? I think that is just so overkill right there. It's actually sort of funny. I mean, look at this right over here. It's all over the place. That's just the spray shooting across over there. Just like that, dripping off the wall. I thought maybe this was Amido black in here, but I think this is all just luminol, or the blue star, all of it. Okay, I think that's it with that. And then I had another segment. That was just photographs, 199 through 273, and then 1092. Yeah, so this, you guys think that this is blue star also in here? Because it looks sort of different to me. It looks darker. I think this might be Amido black. What do you guys think? So again, let's look at that. What the Amido black is it used in forensics to reveal and enhance faint blood stains and bloody latent footprints or fingerprints. And I think that's exactly what they would want to be doing in this room here. They can see it. They know where it is. They want to reveal these footprints. So I think this might be Amido black right here. And the other stuff is blue star. Okay, so that's what I think. And that's what they're looking for. See how they had this whole blood stain from, we saw these in these other pictures. This is where Xana was actually laying. And I think they're, what are they, I think they're calling that a tooth, right? That must be where they think that's a tooth right there. Let's zoom in and see if that could actually be one. It looks like a curly fry to me. I don't know many people that have a tooth that looks like that. Looks like the end of a curly fry. Sorry to disappoint. Alright, let's see. Right. So you guys think that's Amido black? I totally agree. That's what I think. And this goes only 7 photos with this one. Yeah, that's what you think you can see, yeah. Alright, let's see. And look at it, just... And they do make an Amido black that's a spray, and it's so wet there that you see a reflection in it. And so they did get something right there. I mean, that looks like a... you know, a material See that? Like there was blood on a material and then transferred to the ground. See that? Looks like a clothing, and then it sort of bends a little bit and goes that direction. And this, again, let's just see if we can go back. So I think they're looking in that region right there, right? Maybe. Let me go back out. I think it's within this bigger... Okay, 3 and 7. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, because Xana was laying pretty much up in this area here, so it might be a little bit of the, like a pattern from the clothing she was wearing right there. And they're looking for, I mean, that's an interesting one, right? Like, what is that? Is that from Kohberger, who got blood on whatever? Maybe those are, I don't think those are shoe impressions. That looks like fabric. I would think that that was Xana's piece of clothing she was wearing. But anyways, you guys, I appreciate you hanging out and going through and trying to figure out the, you know, what that was made up, and I think we figured out on our own what it is. All right. The Blue Star, but hey guys, we're still only at about 50%, so if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. Thank you. It sucks when you have a, you know, a night and then the next night's just almost sounds like this. Yeah, you'd think, but if he wasn't standing in their blood, he may have stabbed and stabbed and stabbed, and then, yeah, perhaps he was even wearing foot covers. Maybe that's what this is right here. What does that look like? What? Let's see. Yeah, let's look at these. Was there any, did he ever order those things? The, you know, something like this. You know, wouldn't that be interesting if the pattern on that is similar? Let's see. I mean, it's pretty tight in there. It's obviously not the same, but you know, maybe other brands have that. Yeah. I don't know, it's hard to tell. That'd be pretty crazy, though. Wouldn't that be crazy if you could tell that that was... But it looks like... I think that's just fabric of a shirt that Xana was wearing. And it's just on the ground, and it imprinted and left a mark. And that's probably where she was, and when they lifted her up, that was there. And they're looking for... perhaps a latent print that was under her. That's what I feel like. That's what they're doing. I don't think it's strange at all. They just didn't stand in the blood. And let's say you're wearing a shoe and you stepped on one little drop of blood. Oh, well, it's not going to leave a print anywhere. It might leave another piece of blood somewhere, but you're not going to get anything out of it. I think people just want it to be... See, like, look at this right there. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. See, there's a room right there. And if he was just standing over in this area, you're not going to have footprints. He'd have to have his entire foot or half of it, you know, whatever, a large portion of his foot step into a blood pool and then start walking around. We've already explained that hillbilly 15 times. Are you really asking it again, or are you just trying to be... We've already talked about it on this show. It's not baffling whatsoever that there's not blood in his car. Hey, thanks, allegedly, Lisa. Very cool. Thank you. Man, I tell you what, I would have retired if for every time, if I got $1 for every time somebody goes, man, Gray, I just don't understand how the car doesn't have any blood in it, man. It was like, well, you must not have listened to my show on 1,000 different times where I've explained it. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that like before going into the house, he did the blood spatter mitigation. I'm the one that on YouTube determined the time, etc. Anybody else doing it, they just heard my show and they were telling you the same thing. So when Kohberger got there at 4:08, after turning the corner at 4:07 and 47 seconds, he turned the corner, and then I think he sort of watched for a moment, and then he parked, and then he got set up for blood spatter mitigation, where he puts stuff outside of his car, a plastic bag, etc. And then he has on the dicky suit. He's got his balaclava on, and he's pretty much making sure that blood isn't getting on on his person. He's got gloves on and whatever shoes he had on, we don't know. Then he kills everybody, and obviously there's blood on him somewhere. Then he goes outside and he's wearing the gloves, and he removes the dicky suit with the gloves that he's wearing. So he's taking it off, and then the last thing he removes, maybe even puts the clothes in a bag with the gloves, etc. And then the last thing he removes are the gloves, puts those in a bag, and then just avoids getting blood on him as much as possible, and brought very little into the vehicle that was exposed. The rest of it was all in plastic bags. And so all he did was, then he spent the next month cleaning his car over and over and over again. Did Gray's right just go off? I don't know what that means. Did Gray's right just go off? My dogs are going cuckoo. I don't know what that means. What are you talking about? Did Gray's right go off? How can you agree, Alley Cake, if the word right doesn't even make sense? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, ring. You fixed it on the next line. Okay. Let's see. Did Gray's ring just go off? Yeah, probably. I don't know. We got a lot of them. Thanks, allegedly, Lisa. I did hear a sound then on... Oh, boy. Man, you over-explain stuff a lot. Oh boy. Wow. All right. So, anyways, that's it. Do you guys have anything you want to talk? I'm not going to show the pictures again all over the place. I think basically what we've determined is that Blue Star was used, just like I guess Joseph Scott Morgan was saying. They just over-applied it all over the place, creating effects that look like blood spatter and so forth, but it's actually just the Blue Star material. I think we've all learned a lot, don't you think? Yeah. So if you're just going to break it down and say, like, this here is something you could just remember. They use other stuff for just regular fingerprints, not in blood. Just, you know, the powder that they use for that. But here it is. Amido Black and Bluestar spray are both forensic tools used to visualize blood stains, but they differ fundamentally in their mechanism, purpose, and application. Amido Black is a protein stain used to enhance. So, Amido Black is used to enhance visible or faint blood stains, like footwear impressions, by staining them blue or blue to black. Bluestar is a luminol. Now we're on to Bluestar is a luminol-based reagent that uses chemiluminescence. Probably chemiluminescence. There you go. To detect traced or washed or invisible blood, causing it to glow bright blue in darkness. And it turns out that the agent itself in the bottle is blue. So when you spray it out and you put too much of it, it actually leaves these blue streaks going down a wall, for example. And if you just sprayed it out at a wall, you know, it's interesting that it would shoot out droplets like it did, not like a mist. So I don't know what they were using as their applicator. Amido Black binds specifically to proteins found in blood, turning them deep blue-black color. It requires some visible blood to be present to work effectively. So you have to be able to see it, just like it is in Xana's room. Bluestar reacts with the iron in hemoglobin, causing a chemical reaction that produces light luminescence. It is designed to detect blood that has been cleaned or is invisible to the naked eye. Yeah, so it's weird, you know, so they were using it all the way down the... They were probably just using it to find blood. Any kind of blood that they couldn't see with their eyes, and maybe find some patterns or something. But it says, Amido Black is ideal for enhancing faint or latent bloody impressions, footwear, fingerprints on non-porous surfaces. And I think, let's see, isn't that what we also... Yeah, I think this is probably Amido Black right here. I think this is what they put outside of Dylan's door to try to, you know, get the... They could probably just make out a faint something there, and they put it there, and that's what they got the footprint there. I don't think that's Kohberger at all, though. Thank you. Thanks, Sandy. We got... I don't know. Hey, Marty, are you somebody? The one that says someone? So it doesn't say your name on there. But thank you. Whoever the coffee, I think Marty did one, at least one of them, but doesn't have his name on there. Yes, coffee is the best, you know, in terms of YouTube not taking a lot, but it's kind of nice to have the, try to reach the goals on here. We're still way short. We're currently only about like 60% of the nightly goal in here. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel and get us moving along, that would be great. What was this one? Oh yeah, that was one we were looking at. I'll tell you what what I got out of all those images is you can see now why the family all wanted Kohberger to go to trial and get the death penalty. You know, Kohberger was an absolute, or is an absolute monster, and you know, just absolutely went nuts in there. No, Gifted Memberships doesn't do that. They still take the same percentage. Allegedly, Lisa. So no, that isn't accurate. I don't know what video you're talking about, soundboard, so no, I don't know what you mean. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you want to send me an email, here's my email, send it to me, let me take a look at it. Who released it? I hate those. I hate cryptic messages like that. Just sort of like, hey, did you see the new video? What video? What are you talking about? Who said it? Who did it? Where did it come from? Oh, God, my stomach just... I think I know what he's talking about. It's a fake video. Okay. Well, I'd like to look at it so I can just immediately tell you. If anybody wants to send it to me. We need some challenges going on in here. We're just not... we're not even close. I think we need another probably 13... No, more than that. We need... Let's see. $23 channel memberships, and then we'd reach the goal. If people gifted that. Yeah, and we're still trying to get to the 400 mark. Because I was going to donate $500 tonight. I was actually thinking of sending it to I think it was Wounded Warriors. I was looking at that. I just saw a commercial earlier. Always makes me feel bad. What's the one? Do they all do where they're helping out with the house, or is that Tunnels to Towers? Or there's another one too, though, right? Hey, thanks so much there, Sassy Squatch. Very cool, very cool. So, yeah, if we get to, how about on YouTube? If we get to 300 on YouTube, I'll donate the 500. All right, so we're currently at 190. We need 110 more somehow, so that would be 22 channel memberships or, something like that. Yeah, I just give them, I've given Tunnels to Towers money over the years, and also to Wounded Warriors. We normally do crime-related stuff, but, they're sort of, like the military, law enforcement, stuff like that. I don't donate to dog shelters or something. It's too far away from the topic. No? Right. We already know all that, Hillbilly. We've gone over that. I've said that if it was a death penalty, they'd have 20 years of going to court, etc., etc., etc. But you got to leave the choice up to them. But it's also not fair for the families that wanted to settle because they didn't want to do that for years and years and years and years and years. And you're only going to trial to appease a couple of the families. But maybe, but at the same time, I don't think I would have a problem with how they did it if he had got Kohberger to say his story and they published it. Like he goes, this is why I did it, this is what I did, and he was required to do that as part of the deal, regardless if it was a lie or not, but we got to read what he said. And then That would have been interesting to debunk what he was saying, and maybe some of the part was real, etc. That would have been good. We've already figured it out, Cecil. It's really just, it's Bluestar that was misapplied and went over there. That's it. Because blood isn't, here's the thing. Blood isn't blue. And for there to be a reaction on that wall, you'd have to have Bluestar on the wall, and you would see it. And only in the darkness would it light up like a Christmas tree. You're not seeing it. But the liquid itself is blue, so that means they applied it and their blue spray got on the walls. Actually, I think we're just 20 short of getting to 300. Just 20 channel memberships. No, wait, no, it's 22. That's right. My math isn't good. All right, I gotta go use the restroom. Hold on. Ah. Man, you guys, we're just it's so sad. Yeah, it was a cool, great night. No struggle yesterday, and today we're right back to the same old slogging around. Yeah, I like that music. Ah, it's right there. Anyways, regardless of your guys's, not undesire or whatever to support the channel tonight, we're going to go ahead and go out to, not all of you, but some of you. Tunnel to Towers. I might have to, let me go get my wallet here. I just gotta fill it all out. Alright. Please help support the channel if you can, you guys. That's what allows us to do stuff like this. Sorry the show wasn't more entertaining for you guys. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't see what this number is. Hold on. Maybe I'll use a different one. I can't read the number. Alright, oh, there it goes. That one had to, it's not a, I wasn't able to use like PayPal or anything. Alright, any chance you guys can help support the channel tonight? We've had challenges where very few people are interested. Alright, here is the, it's right there. Thank you for your donation. $500. Uh-oh, I gotta get that fixed. They have it down for monthly. They always do that. They have it automatically set to that. That's what always bugs me about these guys, but let's see. I'll just call him up tomorrow. But anyways, there you go. You know, you always notice whenever you're doing the support for the channel donations, everybody takes off because they like to go to the channels that don't do a goddamn thing for anybody. Love that part. It's awesome. Who did we donate earlier this month to? Does anybody remember? Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to ask one last time. Can you guys please help support the channel tonight? We're not even close to the goal in here, so if you have the ability to, that would be fantastic. It allows us to do what we just did. Okay, maybe we have got there with some of the coffees that have just come in. I don't know if it's always Marty, but there's a whole bunch of them from Marty in there. So thank you, if that's you. Somebody else, I've had other people that has. So is this the video somebody's talking about? Let me see. God, it's just so ludicrous, you guys. We're gonna go look at this video here. I'm looking at the Tyler Robinson. Oh God. I could do this. This is so stupid. Look at oh jeez. Oh God. Oh yeah. That's what he did, everybody. That's ridiculous. Oh man, that's crazy. Pretty funny though. Man, I don't feel good. My stomach's just making weird noises. I might have ate something that wasn't good. That was so stupid, what we just saw there. Well, it's been 2 hours. I think I'll just... That last night was 4. I was going to do the Portland update, but my stomach's feeling really crappy. But hey, at least we were able to give 500 to Tunnels to Towers. And we figured out that it is Bluestar. Now, why don't you listen to the music for a minute? I got to use the restroom again. Oh boy, I don't know what I must have ate something not good. That's kind of weird. All of a sudden during the show, my stomach is going. Anyways, thanks to Bella Marie, and then we had Charlotte Denny, then Tumbleweed 26 months, then Chelsea, then Michelle H, then Treaty, Curious Jojo, Sassy Squatch, Wonder Woman, Gifted One. Did we give the Rain? Wasn't that who we gave money to earlier in the month? Sherry, Curious Jojo, CR gifted 5, and then Sherry C gifted a membership. Then allegedly Lisa gifted 5, and Sassy Squatch gifted 5. Not a lot of people supported. Then we did have some very generous coffees in here, though, for sure. I think how many coffees did you send in, Marty? I did send out the notebooks and stuff today. I don't know if I signed them all. I just, put a little notes in them and send them off. And I sent stress balls off. Hey, that video is fake, you guys. Okay? It's not real. It's one of the most bogus things I've ever seen. Hey, soundboard. I could have done that easily when I was his age. Easily. His feet were 10 feet off the ground. That's it. And he landed on grass. You're incorrect. You do this all the time. You come in here with you get so worked up, and your perception is really poor on these cases. I mean, it's just, try to get better. Maybe one day you'll use common sense, logic, reason, that kind of thing. Hey, but Marty, how many, let's see, we got, let's see, one, maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 coffees, buckets of coffee from Marty, and we also got a half bucket from Lisa Valenzuela, and then we just got another one from, we got a coffee from, let's see, wow, very, very kind there. A couple buckets of coffee there by, I'm not sure if it's Jolie, is that how you say that? Or Joel, Joele. How do I say that? Did I say that right? No, you would. Yeah, the guy didn't dive off the roof there. Okay? You're talking about the fake video or the other one? I'm not sure what you're talking about, man. Maybe you're making fun of the video that was put out. I don't even know why you gave it the time of day. Why did you give that video the time of day? They cut it off. They want you to think he dove to the corner and then climbed down. I don't know why you gave that video the time of day. I could do the same thing. But I don't do that because it's not real. Why would you want to fake people? See, those are the ones. This is just like it is in the true crime world, where you've got idiots like what's her face? I don't know. You got the UK guy. You got the one that pretends that they, come up with all the, they get every time they get FOIA stuff, they turn it into a shit show of fake observations. It's just the craziest thing you've ever seen. And it just goes on and 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 on. They think this is all a game, It's like, it's not a game. This is real shit. We're trying to put the pieces together because we all find it interesting, and we do it in a rational, logical way. Right. If you dove off of that corner of the roof, that would be a 16-foot jump. You probably would get hurt doing that. So, if that's what you were saying, then my comment even though you do that a lot on the show, wasn't accurate on that one comment. It is better than the house. Okay, I'll chill out. Let's just be off onto this case. I don't know what that means. Let's just be off onto this case. What does that mean? Does anybody know? Anyways, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Yeah, that's what allows us to, at least we were able to give 500 out. Thanks for the coffees. That kind of made up the difference. Not sure why it was so slow in the actual show chat. We got to like 70%. But the coffees made up the difference. Oh yeah, which ones are you watching? The ones that are 5 years old, those really old ones? Everything was a lot smoother back then when you're listening to it, I can tell you. Yeah, I do have some FOIA requests out there. Oh, Joe L. Okay, Joe L. Well, thank you very much. That was very kind of you. Curious Jojo. Oh, that Brandon Lawson one with the audio? Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Where he's like, please hurry. One guy here. Oh, yeah, how's that go? Let's see. This one, not the other guy. He stepped in the woods. Please hurry. I kind of can remember some of it. I can't remember all of it. Well, thank you, Notorious Nance, for being here. You had those people on my show. What people? What do you mean? Hey, look at it's Carl. What's going on? I'll tell you what. You guys want to listen? My stomach, after I went to the bathroom, doesn't feel quite as bad. So why don't we watch the... I don't know if you guys have seen any of the updates in that Portland police deal, but here's an update on that.
All right, everyone good back there? All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining
Hopefully, I don't think we have any crying going on in this one. The police chief isn't around.
us. I am Mike Benner, Public Information Manager here at the Portland Police Bureau. We are, of course, here to discuss the events of last night where two of our officers were shot while on duty. I can share that at 8 last night, officers assigned...
Oh, I feel bad for the community. There's people that like walking around.
...to our North Precinct, responded to the area of Northeast 21st Avenue and Northeast Clackamas Street.
What's up with the glasses, buddy? I'm just curious. Like, what's up with the glasses?
The caller, who contacted 911, reported that a man he did not know had threatened him with a knife. Officers arrived and located the suspect on Northeast Clackamas Street between Northeast...
This is pretty crazy. It's a man that they did not know. Just kind of a random person.
16th Avenue and Northeast 17th Avenue. Sometime during this encounter, the suspect fired shots at the officers, striking both of them. The officers were transported to the hospital by ambulance. I can share that one officer sustained 2 gunshot wounds and the other sustained 1. The suspect fled on foot, and additional officers immediately set up a perimeter. As you know by now, a large-scale search followed, hours-long search, mind you, with our Special Emergency Reaction Team, Crisis Negotiation Team, and Air Support Unit. We used our Unmanned Aircraft Systems Unit, also known as drones, as well as a canine, but we were unable to locate the suspect and suspended the search early this morning. We did release a photo of the suspect. Here are 2 images right here. He appears to be a white male in his mid-30s with facial hair. He was wearing a black baseball cap, black jacket, over a gray hooded sweatshirt.
You know what's weird? I think this guy, I know this sounds crazy, but I bet you he's Bosnian or Serbian, something like that.
He had black pants and black shoes. He was also seen with a black backpack. We have received numerous tips from the public and want to thank everyone for their assistance. If you live in this area, we ask that you check your security cameras if you have not been contacted by police yet. And once again, please email any tips to crimetips@police.portlandoregon.gov.
And you know why I think he looks Bosnian? Let's see. Let's see. I think that's how you spell his name. Look at this guy right here. He looks exactly like the person in that picture. He used to play for the Blazers. Look at this. I mean, he looks like an absolute clone of this guy. Watch this. Look at that. I mean, if you put that hoodie on that sucker, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. He used to play, and he's from Bosnia. I mean, my God, he looks like the same dude. But I mean, it doesn't matter what picture you pick either. Like that one, look at that. Look at that. If you told me that was him, I'd believe you. Like literally, like if you said, "Oh yeah, that guy and that guy are the same person," I'd go, "Yeah, yeah." Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be shocked or anything. It's got the same exact. I mean, look at that one even. I mean, shit. Got the beard. Everything. Nurk. Yeah. He's gone all over the place now. I loved him when he was on the Blazers, when he was the Bosnian Beast. He was really amazing. Then he broke his leg. Really gruesome. And then he never really was the same guy after that. He was amazing before that, though. But man, isn't that incredible? Like, that looks just like that guy. So that's my guess, that this guy is going to end up being... Because have you ever noticed a lot of the, like, Slavic people have similar look about them, you know? There's, like, this look. So I'm thinking this guy is going to be something Serbian or, you know, Bosnian, something over in that area. What does the man want to... what do you mean? He shot 2 officers.
And now I'd like to introduce Deputy Chief Chris Jovic. Chris spelled C-H-R-I-S and Jovic spelled G-J-O-V-I-K.
Wow,
Deputy
he's
Chief.
From the area where the shooter's from, probably.
Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon. Last night, 2 of our officers were shot while doing the work they swore an oath to do. Protect others, even at great personal risk. Both of the injured officers were incredibly fortunate. 1 inch can make all the difference when you're dealing with gunshot wounds, and the outcome could have been far worse for the injured officers. It's a moment that shakes our police family to its core. It's a reminder that beyond this uniform and badge are human beings. Our officers are parents, spouses, sons and daughters, and friends within our community. They have active and meaningful lives and people who support and love them. We are beyond grateful that both officers remain in stable condition this afternoon. We are keeping them and their loved ones close to our hearts. No one should face gunfire simply for showing up to serve. I'm incredibly proud of the courage shown by our officers involved and by every member of PPB who ran to danger to help their coworkers and the community. Their bravery reflects the very best of our profession. We are incredibly appreciative of our support shown by the community. Mayor Wilson.
Hey, thanks, Carl. Wow, hey, there you go. Look at that.
DA Vasquez, other elected officials, and members of our law enforcement community have reached out in support. But lastly, I want to speak directly to the people who live and work in...
All right, we're only 7 channel memberships away from reaching the minimum goal on YouTube.
The Sullivan's Gulch neighborhood. I know the fear and uncertainty you're feeling right now is very real. While we haven't apprehended the suspect responsible, we want to assure you
they still
that
haven't caught this guy. He's still running around. This is like 3 days ago.
And we will pursue all leads to bring this person into custody as quickly as possible. You may see an increased presence, police presence in the area as we work to solve this case. And please know that if we had information that suggested an immediate risk to the public, we would put that information out to you for your safety. And once again, if you saw anything or have security footage of the incident, please contact us through our tip line. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce DA Nathan Vasquez.
Well, thank you for coming today. And first, I want to say that my thoughts are first and foremost with the two officers who were shot in the line of duty. I was shocked when I received this news last night. And I can tell you that my wife and I are so grateful that they survived and that they're on the path to recovery. The outcome is truly a testament to their strength, their teamwork to take care of fellow officers, and really the life-saving effort that was put forward. This is a horrific reminder of the dangers that they face. These officers put themselves in harm's way to protect our community, our families. And what happened to them? This was a serious act of violence that will be treated with the utmost gravity. And I'll tell you that an attack on law enforcement is an attack on the safety of this community. Our office is working closely with the investigators to ensure that the facts are thoroughly gathered and that we will pursue full accountability in the justice system. When this person is apprehended, my office will hold him.
What the heck, Carl? Jeez. Okay, Carl came in at the buzzer. But I gotta admit, I was just looking at, I think Marty's got his own little grouping in the Buy Me a Coffee, so thanks, Marty. That was very generous of you there. I don't think I added that up correctly earlier, but thank you. Thanks, Carl.
Accountable to the fullest extent of the law. To the officers and their families, you have my full support and the full support of my office. We will stand with you, and we are committed to seeing this person held accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, DA Vasquez. Before we open it up to Q&A, I want to address one of the questions that I received numerous times today, and that was how often something like this happens.
I found the rain.
I can tell you
one
that the last time PBB had an officer shot and injured in the line of duty was August of 2021. And the last time we lost an officer to gunfire in the line of duty was January of 1998. One of the follow-up questions I've been receiving is how often do our officers come under fire and have deadly force used against them? It is numerous times over recent years, but we don't have those numbers readily available. But I do have someone working on that right now and can hopefully share that by late afternoon in time for the newscasts. With that, we will open up to Q&A. Please understand that we are in the throes of it right now. We have people on the street working this case actively as we speak, so there's not a whole lot more we can share beyond what we did, but we're happy to entertain some questions.
I like I just started talking.
Yeah, I mean, this is our strategy, right? We're putting out information for the public to respond to. We've received numerous tips from the area residents and from people outside of that area. So we're following up on all of those tips, hoping we can garner more information, more video footage, and bring this to arrest. There was no exchange of gunfire.
Sorry, I'm just...
I have no information regarding that.
I'm not sure why I can't.
No, I'm not going to share that. They're crime victims at this point, and we're treating them as such. They're both in stable condition at the hospital right now. No, there was no indication of that. The members were assigned to North Precinct. Throughout the entire event, it was a citywide response.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I'm, you can still hear it, right? I'm trying to get this fixed.
I don't know specifically what is said. I've not viewed the body camera footage. That is all being handled by detectives. And these people are in, medical distress at this point. So they have not been able to be interviewed.
Anybody remember what we did? Wasn't it 26 something? 46,
I don't have an exact time. Sorry. Mhm.
Anybody want to go over to
Yeah,
my
over the last year and a half, we've had our body
donation
cameras,
night and
this
give me
is
the
gonna be
number
incredibly
so I can put it in
important to closing this case. We're taking in all tips right now, and we're following up on all of them. I don't have a specific number of surveillance cameras that we have. Yeah. Yeah, this is an
Yeah.
interesting case, right? These are two police officers that are victims of a very heinous crime, right? So we have to respect their privacy as well. So I imagine we will distribute the body cam footage when it's appropriate to do so.
I'd be pretty good at this, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I think I'll refer back to my previous statement that, yeah, I mean,
Well, if you go to
there's no
donation
reason to
night, you
think
can
that
see
this
the number
person
on the screen.
doesn't still have a gun or a knife, right? If we have any specific articulable information that shows a risk to the public, we will get that information out as soon as we have it.
I thought it was pretty
No.
good. I was lined up perfectly there.
No, the city doesn't allow that. We are taking in every lead that we possibly can and following up on each of those leads wherever they may be. You know, we have a very robust wellness program, an EAP program. They're working overtime
Oh, yeah.
to take care of our folks.
Portland's filled
And this
with
is
nut
obviously
jobs.
a very shocking incident for all of us.
This is the last question. You have to get
I mean, look at the first guy that spoke with his crazy glasses. You know?
I don't have the information that you need, and I'm not going to disclose the hospital. Thank you.
It's like McCrone with his
Thank you, everyone.
sunglasses.
As I shared, I will do my very best to get you those numbers.
Who wears these
via
glasses?
email later this afternoon in time for your newscast. Appreciate you being here, and thank you for understanding the gravity of the situation. Thanks.
And there's Yusuf Nurkic on the run, everybody. Unbelievable. Man, I can't get that out of my mind. That's all I see when I look at that. The suspect fired shots at the officers, striking two of them. The officers were transported to the hospital by ambulance, treated, and their conditions are stable. The suspect ran off, and he was trying to kill both officers. One of them was shot in the ear. That means he was trying to get him in the head. The Special Emergency Reaction Team, CERT, the Crisis Negotiation Team, CNT, the Air Support Unit, the PPB Unmanned Aircraft System, and others responded to the scene. That's the low ears there on the mayor. All right. Where was the one from? Maybe this one? Oh, not sure what that is. It's a video file. The Portland Police Bureau released a photo of a suspect who allegedly shot two officers in the Sullivan Gulch neighborhood Monday evening. In a press release Thursday morning, PPB, Portland Police Bureau, said the initial search for the suspect has concluded. However, a suspect was never found. Around 8:20 p.m. Monday, officers were dispatched to a reported threat with a weapon on Northeast 21st Avenue and Northeast Clackamas Street between Northeast 16th Avenue and Northeast 17th Avenue, which is right here. This is Northeast 17th, and this is Clackamas, and they said between, and then what was the other one, 16th? And there's 16th, so that means it was like right here, right there. According to police, the suspect fired shots at officers. Two officers were transported to the hospital by ambulance. Their conditions are stable. Now, one officer suffered 2 gunshot wounds. The other officer was shot once. The officer did not return fire on the suspect. One officer was released from the hospital on Tuesday. He is a 7-year veteran with the department. The other officer, a 17-year veteran, is still hospitalized. It's a moment that shakes out police family, or our police family to its core, said Chris Gajovich, whose cousin is the shooter. We just haven't caught him yet. In a press conference, I'm just kidding. It's not. I'm incredibly proud of the courage shown by the officers involved. An attack on law enforcement is an attack on the safety of this community, Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez said. When this person is apprehended, my office will hold him accountable. The suspect is described as a white man in his mid-30s with facial hair and was wearing a black baseball cap, a black jacket over a gray hooded sweatshirt, black pants, and black shoes the night of the incident. He is, I mean, it seems like he's almost like an Antifa type, but wearing all black like that. He's believed to be armed with a knife and a handgun, except he was just harassing a random person with a knife. Authorities said, noting he was also seen with a black backpack and a green shopping bag. No other details were immediately available. Police say that some private security cameras and doorbell cameras may have captured critical video. Well, do you have it? Detectives are focused on the area encompassing Northeast 15th Avenue to Northeast 19th and Northeast Broadway to Northeast Multnomah Street. They're asking that community members who live and work in the area upload all videos that it saves on their systems from 7 p.m. on January 19th to 7 a.m. on January 20th. Community members can share the raw footage here. Well, there you go. I guess the update is they haven't caught him, but that was a press conference. So, anyways, you guys find, I mean, it was sort of the part about earlier in the show where we were discussing the luminol. I think that was pretty interesting, didn't you think? I mean, at least we figured it out that it really, well, not luminol, but the blue star, that's what they used, just like Joseph Scott Morgan said. It didn't make sense originally because the way it looks at the crime scene is not the way it's supposed to look. They put way too much of the blue star liquid, and it was dripping all over the place, and you're really just supposed to use like a fine mist sprayer and just be like, and just kind of get it to mist onto the walls. You don't pour it on like a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I know we spent a lot of time on it, but it was kind of a neat journey because for a while there it seemed like it had to be the Amido Black. But it turns out, like, I think one of the answers we got was confusing luminol with blue star. And we all will remember now that luminol is a clear to yellowish liquid. When sprayed on the wall and there's no blood, it just looks like the wall is a little bit wet. Blue star, however, is a blue liquid that you're also supposed to mist onto the wall. It's better, though, for preserving DNA, where luminol actually destroys DNA. Blue star preserves it. But you still spray it onto the wall. And then you turn out the lights, and then wherever blood was that the blue star hit, it lights up like a Christmas tree. And it's used for detecting blood where it wasn't visible. Like you're just sort of like a latent, where blood might have been cleaned up, or you can't see it, and you put it down, and oh, there it is, man. Look there's blood right there. Where the Amido Black that they also use is used for detecting latent prints that are visible, but it gives you a better depiction of it. So that was cool. I liked it. So I hope you guys found it interesting too. I know a lot of people, they just get bored. They just want to keep hearing, "Ooh, what's the thing? We got the we're still sleuthing out the case." There's no sleuthing in terms of who did this case, right? Kohberger did it. There is no doubt at all. There is zero doubt. There absolutely has never been doubt, as in fact, in my mind, after reading the probable cause document originally, where the vehicle driving in Pullman at 244 was, sort of interesting because I was trying to sleuth out where it came in onto the highway. It turns out that wasn't even his vehicle, but it has nothing to do with anything. They already had his car moving based on the CAS data, and then every other sighting of the vehicle was missing the didn't have a fog light. It had the black plastic insert put in there. And we don't even have to go through these explanations anymore because Bryan Kohberger himself admitted to killing Ethan Chapin, Xander Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez. What do you mean? Yeah, luminol damages DNA, yes. They didn't use luminol. They used Bluestar. I just explained that very clearly and concisely. But when anybody thinks Kohberger is not the killer, they always hear something different out of your mouth. It's weird. Yeah, exactly. And based on the fact that one image, 953, does appear, I've looked at it multiple times, it does appear that you can see Xander Kernodle's shoulder. There's even some cuts in the shirt, and then it looks like you can see about a quarter of her side of her head, and it's just totally mangled up, and this guy just went absolutely nuts in there with a K-bar knife. And so that's why they removed, I believe, the entire thing, even though it's not incredibly graphic because it's not like you don't see a face or something. What is P. Soley talking about when it says, does it damage DNA? The luminol does. Bluestar doesn't, as we just went over. Oh yeah, the Taco Bell sauce, everybody. It's the key to the case if you're a Kohberger nut job. Oh, it's so important. Oh, God. Oh, didn't Bethany also eat some Taco Bell at some point? Maybe they had 1,700 bags of Taco Bell sauce in the refrigerator because they all loved it on the fries and anything. Anybody think of that? It also was saying that if you use luminol to spray a wall and there's blood on it, in the darkness you'll see it all illuminated. However, if you turn on a light, there's nothing illuminated, and it just looks like there's a wet substance on a wall. That's it. It's totally different than Bluestar, where it actually sprays out a blue liquid and then lights up, but that blue liquid still just sits there on the wall when it's all done. See what I'm saying? That's why after we got that last time we did ChatGPT, we got it totally dialed into the right area. It made total sense. Yeah, Taco Bell does sound good. Yeah. Anything that tastes good isn't good for you. You ever notice that? Name one thing. Well, Gray, I really like rhubarb. Okay, well. So I said something that tastes good. I remember when we were poor, when we were young, my mom she was really creative. She'd buy powdered milk and mix it with, buy a gallon of whole milk and then buy powdered milk and then sort of do this little mixing job where we had like 4 gallons of milk over time, and she'd always do the coupons and all that stuff. And then I remember she started growing rhubarb, and then she'd make all these like rhubarb apple pies, and it kind of fills up the, it's kind of a sour flavor, but I don't know. She'd do all these little things with rhubarb. And she was so good at, she'd go to the store and have like 8 bags of groceries for like $20 because she'd sit there and clip the coupons and do the triple saver this and then this and that, and had it all figured out. It was crazy. I don't know how she did that. But that's what you do. That's what she was doing. I mean, it was amazing. Rhubarb. Any of you guys eat that stuff? She used to make rhubarb pie, rhubarb. Like, it seemed like she figured out a way to put rhubarb into a lot of different things. It almost seemed like the hemp of food. You know how people that, the dope smokers, they like to pretend that hemp is the most incredible item that was ever invented. My God, hemp is the most important. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, people smoke pot or whatever. It doesn't. I mean, I smoked it in college. It was kind of fun, But it's funny how like the hemp becomes this like vital resource of. It's not the drug part. It's that it makes ropes and all these other things. And okay, well, I mean, there's also other good stuff that makes ropes. Yeah, I like salmon. I like cooking salmon where you basically just do it really quick on one side, one on the other side, and then you put a little water on the pan and then put a lid over the top of it and steam it in there until it's pretty much all the way done through. Then it's good. You just passed out today? Notorious Nance? Oh yeah, rainbow trout are really good I remember when I was a kid, you go catch them, even like those little 8 or 9 inchers, those are the ones that taste the best. So what you do with those is you get a campfire going, and you get some tin foil, and then you put butter inside the tin foil, and then you put the whole trout in there after you've already cleaned it, but you leave the head on and everything. Then you put butter inside the trout, and then you squirt lemon juice on the top, then you roll it up inside the tin foil, and then just throw it in the fire for like, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes, then you pull that sucker out. Oh, man. Oh, that's good too, Marty, yeah. Catfish is good. Catfish in melted butter, yes. So it's almost like eating lobster, but it's a catfish. Put a little garlic in the butter. I'm sure that's pretty good. The sauce that you eat with fish, the red, and it sort of got, what is that stuff called? Horseradish in it, sort of. Well, it's amazing. You can make it really quick. You buy one of those wasabi in one of those tubes, and then you get ketchup, squirt wasabi in there, and just stir it all up. Tastes exactly the same as the spicy fish sauce that you eat. I have all these little quick things because I'm so impatient with stuff like that. I'm drooling a little bit myself. Oh, you used to throw catfish away, huh? Yeah, catfish are weird, too, because you have to clean them strangely, like you cut, you know, obviously you gut them, but then you have to peel their skin off. Or at least that's what somebody showed me. But you can eat the skin, I think. But you can peel it off, too. You put a nail, like when you leave them their head on, you put a nail into a board through their head, and then you make a little cut and then grab the skin with pliers and pull it off. Then it's just sort of like just meat. Yeah, I talked to, well, we message each other, Notorious Nance. Yeah, then I make this little thing. I use, let's see, cayenne pepper, and what's the other one that's sort of maroon color? It's like kind of goes with cayenne pepper. It's the, what's the other shit? Come on, you guys know. What's the other one that's a powder that's sort of maroon color? Yeah, paprika. There you go. So I put, you know, like you do like a tablespoon of cayenne, and then 2 tablespoons of, maybe 3 tablespoons of paprika, and then you put maybe a tablespoon of salt and a half tablespoon of pepper, and just stir it all up, and then you put that on anything. It's good on like chicken or fish or whatever, you know. You know, it's weird. I used to be such a good fisherman for like when I was a kid. I don't know what to say, but it was so strange. There was something about being a positive fisherman. Like if you knew in your head that you're going to catch them, and you just knew, oh yeah, you get to sit there and catch. I remember fishing on a dock. I think it was on I forgot, Devil's Lake near Lincoln City. And I'm just sitting there, and right next to somebody else with the exact same line and the exact same bait and everything. And I must have caught 50 perch, you know. And the other person didn't catch a damn thing and no bites. It just makes you just wonder, like, how is that even possible, you know? And we're just sitting in the same exact spot. But I kept knowing that I am going to catch something every single time. Like, almost like there's a confidence in fishing. Weird, huh? And my mom even brings that up sometimes. She'll go, man, remember that the one time? And I was like, yeah. But it wasn't really that unusual. It's been like, I've had that happen many, many times at different places. And it's weird, too, because as soon as you get that first little bite, you know, that one little bite, and then your mind just goes, oh, okay, then you know there's something there, you know. I like catfish, blackened catfish, you know, where you put the pepper on there. And wondered if the bait was in the bottom of an old oily can. You were the other guy, you mean? Kind of looking forward to this spring. Get back out to Lake Oswego. Yep, still open. All right. Hey, thanks, Joshua Johnson. Very cool. Thank you. Wow. All right, I think we made it all the way to, let's see. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, we gave out, if you weren't here earlier, we gave $500 to Tunnel to Towers, who I've got to call up because they have it automatically default to monthly. You know, it's like, no, I'm not doing 500 a month. I mean, we could, but, you know, I like to mix it up. All right, what else, you guys? What else? By the way, you know, my Portland Trailblazers, I told everybody the Blazers have a good team. They just needed time. The players on it are as good as anybody else out there. And finally, we've got this guy from Israel, but believe it or not, who's our best player by a mile. Is going to be on the All-Star team this year. Dyatlov. He's like 6'7" and 230 pounds. He's just this big, just barrels through, and we're at 500 now, which is amazing. But I predicted they'd win 47 games when the season started. And there's some just total idiots in the media that they go, oh, they're not even going to be 500. Come on. I mean, they are so much better. So we'll see. Kind of pumped. They play against Miami tomorrow. And maybe you guys will get your Seattle Supersonics back in the next few years. What's that sound? I never understand that. It's weird. Maybe you know what that is? Yeah, Caleb Love is just, he shoots exactly the same way Lillard shot, but he's a better sort of like driver, and he's a better passer than Lillard. Lillard was, I was never a huge fan of Lillard. I loved his amazing bombs and game winners and stuff, but he was just such a ball dominant, pounding nails into the ground. Everybody stands around. Then he passes it to somebody purely out of like just, oh, I gotta pass it, and then he claps for it back really quick, and everybody else just never gets involved. Where Denny Advia and the rest of them, they play team basketball. It's way better, and the style they're playing now is so much better than any style that Lillard ever played when he was on the team. It was just all him or nothing, and it was just stupid. But he shoots, his form shooting is almost identical to Lillard. And he's hitting threes. And our center, Klingon, that's the key guy, though. Man, he's a second-year player. He's 7'2", really big guy. Can shoot threes pretty decently. Can absolutely rebound the hell out of the ball. Blocks shots. He's just massive in there. And he is, I mean, that guy is so good. Unbelievable. So we've got like, Denny Advia, Klingon, and we actually have Drew Holiday right now, and it's we got a lot of people that are injured that are really good players, and so it's weird. It's just sort of like you kind of mess with the what do you call it, the chemistry, because we've got like Thibault, and it just like he's a savant on defense, unbelievable stuff that guy does. And then we've got, these other players when they come back, then all of a sudden the guys that have really got you there, like CD Sissoko and Love, their minutes start getting cut. And by the way, these two guys, CD Sissoko and Caleb Love, are both two-way players, so you can only play 50 games in the NBA. But because we've had so many injuries this year, they've both played and started some games, and they've been playing 50 games. And what's crazy about Caleb Love is he was an undrafted rookie this year, and he's ranked 8th out of all of the drafted people. So somebody made a mistake out there. And Scoot Henderson, and Scoot Henderson who I think is going to be a great player. He's just been out the whole season with a pulled hamstring to start the season. How crazy is that? Yeah. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Chris was just saying that he's another player that hasn't played. So I'm looking forward to him coming back because I think it would be, he's a really good passer and hustles. So I think him with Denny Advia together might be a pretty lethal combination. But then you've got Drew Holiday, who's really kind of an all-star type level player. And then you have Jeremy Grant, who's over there. It's just, he comes off the bench, though. And I think that's what Lillard should do. See, that's the thing, is everybody, when Lillard comes back, ooh, he's going to be the starter. No way, man. I would put Lillard and make him be like the sixth man that comes off the bench, and he's purely in there to score. He goes over to the corners and just drills three-pointers, and that's basically all he does. I don't want him touching the ball, setting up plays, dribbling around. If I see that at all, I'm going to be so frustrated. Can't stand it. Never liked it. Don't you guys love talking about the NBA? Anyways, I'm just hanging out here at this point. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna take off, but thank you guys. Thanks for all the support with the coffees and all the different super chats and gifted memberships, etc. Yeah, that's right. Downtown Freddie Brown, Gus Williams, John Johnson. Who the hell was Marvin Webster? Didn't he come from Denver to you guys? Marvin Webster or Slick Watts, and then you had I think Jack Sikma came a little bit after that. He wasn't there. But you had Wally Walker, who was on the Blazers, and then isn't that crazy? You got a guy named Wally Walker, who, you know what his nickname was? It was who? We had a player on the Blazers named Wally Walker, and they'd go, who? So his nickname was The Who. And then he got traded from the Blazers after we won the championship to the Seattle Supersonics. And then he won one on the Seattle Supersonics and barely played over there either. So you got this player that just sucked, who has 2 NBA championships on 2 different teams. If you didn't know better, you'd think he was the reason. Yeah, it's feeling a little bit better right this moment. It's still making noises, but wasn't Slick from Portland. I don't know. Sikma. Yeah, Jack Sikma. He was, he had a weird shot. He put the ball way back behind him. It's kind of bounce and then sort of fling it up. But he was a good player, good scorer. And who else did that? Let me see. Man, I should remember all those names. Let's see. 1978, 79, Seattle Supersonic roster. Let's see. Oh, there it was. Dennis Autry. I didn't know you. Fred Brown, Joe Hassett, Dennis Johnson. Oh, that's right. That's the name I was trying to remember. I mean, he was on the Celtics for years and a great player. John Johnson. Let's see. Lonnie Shelton. I did it. John Johnson, Freddie Brown. And there's Wally Walker right there. Look at this guy. And look at they even have the Blazers image for him for the Seattle Supersonics. See that? Gus Williams. Paul Silas, I forgot that one. I don't know why. He was like their main player. One of them. Like Wally Walker, Lonnie Shelton. He played for the Blazers for a little bit too, I think. And there you go. Very cool. Who was on the 79 the 77-78 team. So I think didn't they win, or they were in the championship against Washington, I thought. Oh, there's Sigma right there. He played on before that? That's crazy. That's wild. Freddie Brown, Mike Green, Joe Hassett, Dennis Johnson, John Johnson, Jack Sigma, Paul Silas, Wally Walker, Slick Watts. That's the team I'm remembering. And Marvin Webster. I nailed it. Got both of those guys. Gus Williams, Willie Wise, Will inbounds. Yeah, Willie Wise was on a different team too, because he was in. I think he was on Denver. They must have made a trade with Denver here, and that's how they ended up with Marvin Webster. I think Willie Wise and Marvin Webster were on Denver and got traded for somebody. I mean, they must have traded somebody to Denver that was on their team. Don't know who that was. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Celtics have had a lot of great players. I would say Dennis Johnson was a good player. Larry Bird and McHale and Angel's way better than Dennis Johnson, in my opinion. But anyways, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And who knows what the hell tomorrow will bring. I don't know what's PS. Wasn't Watts from PS. I don't know. What did you send me an email about? Oh, there it is. That's not what I was asking, Paulette. I know, we've sent it to Rain. That was last. I was wondering what my total was on the screen for last year. So if you can find out, like if you go to donation night and on the screen where we update it, what was the total number? Wasn't it? It was like 46,000 or 47 for last year. Oh, Portland State. It could have been. It sounds kind of. I know there's another player from Portland State called Freeman Williams. I mean, that guy, there wasn't a shot he didn't like. He would just catch the ball, shoot it. I mean, I don't know if he's ever actually passed the ball. But thanks, Paulette. I was actually looking for the total. So if you can find that, if anybody wants to look at the donation night and find on the screen at the end of or right when we were done doing donations and we updated the total, if you could tell me what that was. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Thanks, everybody.
I've been doing this true crime thing.
Hey, shut up, Mary Lou.
Gosh, Gray, you aren't very nice. I agree with all those people now.
Crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified
I'm a
human lie
nutty
detector. Gonna get ya
On a stretcher.
if you try and play me like an
Old projector, crime sector, here's my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give
another lecture.
crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pop protector.
Reflector
Interceptor, and I'll need a little spectre with a vector.
on his pector. With all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temple fucking
Conjecture, I have no agenda, I'm a bartender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal true offender.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
Oh my God. What the hell was that? Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, and common sense to figure out exactly what happens in true crime cases. Thanks again for watching, and as I always say, until next time, Be safe out there.
Bye. See you around.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mandy. Oh, thank you. Hey, thanks, Paulette. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nobody was thanking you, Mary Lou. In fact, they weren't thanking you at all. None of them like you at all, Mary Lou.
That isn't very nice, Gray.
Correct.
Good night, everyone.